A nice television mast. And some windmills. That's the countryside. Countryside, windmills, phone, me, van. So good morning. A somewhat blurry-eyed morning this morning. It's Saturday the 16th of September. And we're here on an island, I think it's called Fehmarn, at the top of Germany. And I don't know if you can notice over my shoulders there are the two ferries. I think there's two ferries or three ferries that run, I can't remember now. But these are the ferries that run across from Puttgarden, which is just up the coast here, across to Redmi in Denmark. But yeah, I say blurry-eyed because it was a nice park up and it was only €10, and I got to bed for 10 and I was asleep, and then I got woken up just before 1 o'clock in the morning by music. And you know, like for me, I mean, people think, oh, you just get used to sounds and drown sounds out, and to an extent you can. Things like traffic or the rain, natural sounds like that. Well, I'm not saying traffic is natural, but you know, that consistent wave or pattern of, you know, traffic in the background and what have not, you eventually do drown it out. But music, no. There's obviously a tempo, it changes all the time. It's the most distracting thing ever. And I think there were, I don't know whether they're surfers or what, but it sounded like they were a youngish crowd because it was quite sort of upbeat techno, sort of dance music in the background, and you could hear them laughing and talking and partying, and they carried on until I think it was nearly 4 o'clock in the morning. And so between midnight and 4 I didn't really sleep very well. I think I even woke myself up snoring at some point, where I was probably there lying on my back, and yeah, it was just a nightmare. So what turned out to be a promising, and the thing is, I was thinking to myself all the time, why hasn't someone got up and told him to shut up or what have not, because there were loads of motorhomes around and everything. So they weren't in my same park up, they were one over, so there was a bunch of trees and things in the way. But there were people in motorhomes in that same park up as them. Either people just sleep better and deeper than me, or just don't care. And but yeah, it was fucking awful. Yeah. But anyway, what a beautiful day. So I thought I'd do this bit to camera outside. Why not? By the beach. Had a little stroll. The cafe isn't open, which is a shame because they do a good business for coffees and teas in the morning. But yeah, I'm just going to hang out here for a bit, do this. I spotted some bins, so I'm going to get rid of some rubbish, and then I'm going to go inland a little bit. So I won't go to Puttgarden straight away. I'm going to go inland a little bit because there's some fuel stations, so I'm going to fill up. So I've got a full tank of fuel, and then the objective of today is I get that crossing at 12:40. It was originally 12:15, but they've changed it, so I'm going to just head to the port for about 12 or so, just to be on the safe side. It says to be there at least 15 minutes before, so if I get there half hour, 40 minutes before, I should be fine. get on that. That's a 45-minute crossing, I think. And then head towards Copenhagen, and then I'll get the bridge across, the Osterund bridge. I need to work out what I'm doing payment, because when I bought my ticket as well for the ferry, I clicked the option for ferry and bridge crossing, but when I've looked at the ticket and everything, it doesn't mention anything about the bridge crossing. So I'm going to see if there's someone I can talk to on the ferry to double check that I have just paid for a ferry price, or there's something missing. And if I haven't, I've only just paid for the ferry, I'm going to see if I can get a discount, because that was the point of going through the ferry crossings. You got a bit of a discount, because I think it's like 66 euros or something like that, one crossing. But anyway, either way, I mean, I can pay when I get to the border crossing as well, so it's not the end of the world if I haven't paid before. But I think if you pay before, you get a bit of a discount. So yeah, so that will probably be crossing that later on this afternoon. I'll get across into Malmo, and then I'll make a decision. I was originally going to probably stay somewhere on the outskirts of Malmo, just sort of looking over towards Denmark, just a bit north of Malmo, but I'll see how I feel. If I'm feeling good, I might just put a few more miles in. The aim is that by tomorrow, Sunday, I need to get to Stockholm Arlanda airport for tomorrow evening's stay, because I've got something specific in mind there. It does mean that it's left me a big chunk to do on Monday to get to Asher Marie's, but it's only, well, according to SatNav, it's a 6.5 hour drive. So you know, I can split that into 2 sessions on the Sunday. Tomorrow is meant to be from Malmo to Stockholm, is also like a 6 hour drive. So I'll see, I might sort of eat into the drive a little bit today if possible. But yeah, it's just driving days now. One more experience to experience in Stockholm, and then up to Asher Marie's, and then time to chill. And yeah, I'll imagine that I'll have some of the best sleeps up there for sure. I'm really looking forward to just chilling out and being at peace. So but what a day. I've been blessed with some good weather. Yeah, it's been really cool. And it's lovely to come somewhere where you can park up and you'll be near the coast and everything. This is lovely. On the road again. Da dee 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 da dee 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 dee. So just gonna get some fuel. Do you know, I've just done the most stupidest thing. Literally, just getting the chocks off the van, and as I got out the van, fucking rolled my ankle, my left. I've never ever done that whilst getting in and out of this van. And today of all days, I was just like, you fucking arsehole. Oh, don't know how smart. Do you know, does that ever happen to you? Sometimes the most stupid, innocuous little thing, and you're like, why does it have to happen now? Do you know what I mean? You know, it was like last weekend when I was with Simon on the Isle of Wight. Yeah, before going to a meetup, you know, I haven't seen a lot of people. It was really exciting to catch up. And the evening before, I fucking chew into a wasp. I mean, what fucking idiot does that? Me. Wasp gets into my can of cider, and I'm like, that's a bit crunchy. Oh fuck! Bit me on the lip. I'm like, no, fuck the elephant man. For however long. Simon's pissing himself. It's the most stupid things, like weird things, little things that happen to me. You know, it's like fucking hell. That Mr. Magoo. Well, I wouldn't mind that Mr. Magoo got away with it. You know, he was about to walk off a cliff, and then a fucking, you know, plank of wood or a fucking girder comes from nowhere, and he walks across it. You know, Mr. Magoo got away with it, whereas me, I'm the guy that fucking gets the shit that Mr. Magoo gets away with. Close in my mirror, so I could get into the line here. My mirror wouldn't go out and see. I've got a feeling I was brushing the side. Let's have a look. That's like a gnat's chop. I've done this crossing before, not this particular one, but I have actually done this crossing done a crossing to Sweden before, back in 1991, I think it was, and that's why I know that road, or knew of that road from Hamburg, etc., because I drove past Hamburg. I wasn't driving at the time, I didn't have a license, but I was in a van with two other people. It was when I was with a theatre company, and we drove from Heilbronn, which is near Stuttgart, drove all the way up. So I was on that same autobahn that I was on yesterday, and I drove to, I think it's a place called Travemünde. There's a big ferry port, and from Travemünde you get the ferry to the south of Sweden to a place called Trelleborg. I think it's like an 8-hour crossing or something like that, so you kind of get a cabin. So that's what I did the last time, and then we drove up from Trelleborg to Stockholm. We spent a couple of weeks in Stockholm whilst waiting for visas, and then we got the ferry across to Finland. But then after that tour of Finland, I actually then flew back to London from Helsinki. So yeah, it's kind of a bit of this journey has been a little bit of a sort of trip down memory lane. I don't remember any of it, to be honest with you, but it's kind of nice to know that once upon a time I did come through here as a 20-something-year-old man, boy. Now look at me, old git, trying to do the same thing again.
docking into Redmi, into Denmark. What was it, 12:47? So yeah, I've got an earlier ferry, which is good. So I'm going to get off here, and don't know if I've got to go through passport control or anything like that. We'll see. Pretty sure I do have to go through passport control at the bridge. Wasn't able to get any discounts or anything, couldn't find any information office here on board or anything like that. So I think I'm just going to have to pay the full whack when I get to the bridge. Hey ho. And then we'll get going. I've actually set in for Helsingborg, which is just the city north of Malmo in Sweden. And according to all the sat-navs, I would get there for about 3:20, 3:30. So depending on how I feel or what I can see on Park for Night, I might even go a little bit further, just to make the journey time to Stockholm tomorrow shorter, because I think it is, from Malmo it was about 6 hours or just over. So if I can make that time shorter and get to Stockholm a bit earlier to do a bit of exploring at the place that I'm going to stay, and then we're all great for the big mammoth journey up north on Monday, which I'll start nice and early on Monday, get a really early start. The gates are opening, so it looks like we're going. Apparently we've got to wait for a light before we're allowed to turn our engines on. Can't see any lights yet. Another country for Neo, Denmark. Got a nice little flag sticker for you later. In another country, another sticker for you, my lads. And that was a really pleasant crossing, really nice. No hassles, very comfortable. What was interesting about that was, let's close this up. So she put me into lane 2, but I couldn't get into lane 2 because lane 3 was blocking the entrance into it. But when I got eventually onto lane 2 was a VIP lane. So I think that means that you get to board first and obviously come off first. So I didn't get that opportunity, but it didn't matter because it wasn't busy. But I also got a free coffee voucher, which was nice. So I got myself a cheeky little Starbucks, so that's perked me up, and then I bought myself some schnitzel mit pommes frites. Thought, why not, you know, last time with the German cuisine. So, and we just fly and visit through Denmark, so we're only going to be in Denmark for a couple of hours or so, however long it takes to get through. What is it, nearly 1 o'clock. Sat-nav says I get over to Helsingborg for 20 to 4. I think there's only half an hour from Malmo to there, so yeah, so we're only really going to be in Denmark for a couple of hours, I think, driving. We got a full tank of fuel, so we don't need to stop for anything. I've got full belly from having some lunch. So we're good to go. What's the scenery like? Pretty similar to the other side, to be honest with you. Obviously the houses are different. But yeah, it's been a while since I've been to Denmark. So I came to Denmark back in, I want to say 1994, I think it was. I came over from the ferry from Harwich to Esbjerg. We came in a van. There's a small little touring company. It was after the first year of my diploma in stage management studies, so it was my first year at the Royal Scottish Academy of Music and Drama. Did my first year and got in contact with a group of fellow students that were on the diploma course and the BA course, and they set up a little company to go and do a performance of Shakers, which ironically enough, many years later I get to work with John Godber and Jane Thornton, which is strange how things pan out. But yeah, I did this, I was a stage manager, sort of technician, and we had this really old LDV convoy. In fact, I tell a lie, it wasn't a convoy, it was a Sherpa. It was an old BT telecoms thing, and we ripped everything out so that we could get the set in, change the seating at the back, because there was the 4 girls in the cast, and the 3 of us guys, Doug who was the director, and then Joel who was the stage manager with me. So there's 7 of us, and yeah, we rejigged it so that we could all fit into this Sherpa van with the scenery and all our belongings, etc. And then we broke down on the way to Harwich, funny enough. And oh my god, here we go. Why do you have to? No. That's a shame. It's a breakdown there, my love. Oh dear. Anyway, where was I? So yes, yeah, we broke down on the way to Harwich, and Anna, who was the girl that organised it all, who was Danish, fortunately her aunt and uncle lived just outside of Cambridge, so we were able to get towed to their house. They had a really nice house with a swimming pool and everything, so I remember we all took full use of the swimming pool, and we managed to get the van to a garage and they fixed it, and then we got a later crossing, I think. Did the crossing from Harwich to Esbjerg, which is like, I don't know, 7.5, 8 hour crossing, maybe longer actually. And then we drove across and did a few dates all around Denmark. Most of our dates were concentrated in Copenhagen. Anna's parents lived in a village, I think, north of Copenhagen, so we spent time there, and we just did a bunch of theatre dates and schools and stuff. That's when I visited Legoland on the way back, I think it was, at Billund, wherever that is. So yeah, I have fond memories of Denmark, and I remember Copenhagen. To date, Copenhagen is up there in terms of my favourite European city, very closely followed by Seville, or Sevilla as we like to say. But yeah, Copenhagen, you ever get a chance to go to Copenhagen, it's a stunningly beautiful city, really, really nice. I got to see the Little Mermaid, and she really is very little, and yeah, I love Copenhagen. It's a shame that we're not going to get a chance to stop there. We're just going to literally skirt around the south of it, past the airport, and then we'll go over the crossing. But yes, so that was my little tale of Denmark. It is, as I say, I've been here before. I think we were here for 2 weeks, something like that. The women are very beautiful. I remember being in a club in Copenhagen with Joel, and we were just 2 scruffy hippies with really long hair at the time, and you know, as handsome and as rugged as we looked as young 20-something-year-olds, surrounded by all of these tall, beautiful blonde women. And Joel was like a hobbit, a very good-looking hobbit, mind. Obviously, me being as tall as I am. But yeah, the two of us didn't stand a chance. But then again, my memory's a little bit foggy, so I can't really quite remember. I'm feeling something may have happened. That might not have been in Copenhagen, that might have been another little town somewhere. Anyway, shh, mum's the word. Hey, what goes on the tour stays on tour, yeah? See ya. First bit of the crossing. This bit's a tunnel. Looks like someone's broken down in front on the right hand side. I see some light at the end of the tunnel. So I think we come out a little bit. It's really weird because the sat-nav has lost signal, so it's got me still next to the airport. But there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. Just up ahead is our first glimpse of the bridge. So this is kind of like a spit of land. We've got the railway to the right, etc. Our first view of the bridge we're about to go over. And you can see Sweden just across the water there. Looks like a big skyscraper in Malmo as well. Some really cool tower. I don't know what that is. Yep. This is a crossing that I've wanted to do for some time now, and yeah, it's been a long time coming, this crossing, but finally get to this point. What a beautiful day to do it. No mist,